Hey guys, this is going to be a video on how to replace a EGR valve on a 2005 1500 Dodge Ram 5.7 V8 Hemi. The tools that you are going to need is going to be a new EGR valve. You're going to need the 2 gaskets, a flashlight, possibly penetrating oil. I like to use brake cleaner to go ahead and clean off the parts. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver. I like to use a panel popper, a ratchet, an extension, and a 8mm and a 10mm socket, and a flashlight. So what we're going to be looking for is the alternator right here, and you'll see a cylinder right here. This is going to be the EGR valve. So what you're going to do is you're going to pry the little red tab this way, push down this, pull it out. You're going to have 2 bolts, one here and one here. They're going to be 8mm. And then on the bottom side, on the face of the EGR, you're going to have 2 10mm bolts. And first off, let's go ahead and pull that red tab off to the side. Okay. Now that the red tab is off to the side, you're going to push down on this square and pull outwards. A little bit of wiggle. Let's go ahead and set this here. Make sure the tab is out. And the connector should come off. What you're going to do is go ahead and kind of set it off to the side so that it doesn't get caught on anything. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and loosen the 2 front 8mm bolts that are on the front face. There is a gasket between the EGR pipe and the actual EGR right here. So it's going to be that bolt, and they're going to be 8mm. So once you remove the 2 8mm bolts, the EGR pipe is going to go off. And like I said, there is going to be a gasket right here. I would definitely use penetrating oil because these bolts are prone to breaking. And then just go ahead and move the EGR off to the side. And now what you're going to do is the front face is going to have a bolt down there. Should be 2 10mm bolts. As you can see, there's one right there. And then the other is going to be right on the face right there. So go ahead and get a 10mm socket and an extension, and then we'll go ahead and get to it. So I'll go ahead and finish off the last bolt. So now that we have both EGRs out, the first thing that you want to do is check the pin connectors. There is 5 pins in that one, and the new one also has 5. You want to check to make sure that your pipe inlet is on the correct side, and the piece that goes to your block is generally about the exact same size. This one obviously has a gasket and the 2 bolts. You're going to take your 2 new bolts and your gasket. And what you want to do is go ahead and get them preset so that you don't have to worry about the gasket falling off. So get them kind of preset a bit. Get some threads on it so that the gasket doesn't go anywhere. So that when you go and put it in, you don't have to worry about holding the gasket. So before you stick it back on, the first thing you want to do is kind of clean off the mating surface. I use brake cleaner, and then go ahead and reinstall your EGR valve. Hand tighten the screws in the bolts in first before actually hitting it with your ratchet. Okay, so once you get the 2 front facing mount bolts, what you're going to do is tighten them down to 20 foot-pounds. And you want to kind of go back and forth till they're flush against the wall. Then tighten it down to 20 foot-pounds. Same with the EGR pipe. When you get it up, you're going to go ahead and finger tighten first. Get them onto a thread, get them on. And then kind of go back and forth till they're both flush. And then once again, you're going to do another 20 foot-pounds. And then all you need to do is reconnect your wiring harness here. Push in the little red tab that way. And that would be it. Your thing would be done.